चलिए, let's start. Any questions so far from the last sessions? You've not attended it, Akriti? You can hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me open the presentation. Okay. So we discussed about in our last classes, we talked about coaching styles, tools, and techniques, right? And now moving on to the next very important topic, which is called coaching models. And why should a coach should choose a model so that they can perform their entire coaching sessions in a more meaningful, more professional way. It gives much clarity not just to the coach but to any one of the clients or person who comes to you for their problem solving. It brings a lot of clarity in terms of what should be expected, what needs to be given out to people, and how much time you can actually allocate to each one of your sessions accordingly. So it's like any scientific models which we generally use in any kind of any other form of science and art that we pursue, whether it can be psychology, whether it can be science, whether it can be economics. So these models actually help us find out what is the kind of ability you have as a coach and whether those abilities of a coach is actually reflecting in each one of your sessions in a proper manner or not. So it gives you a better outcome of each session. How should be expecting, what you should be expecting, or whether you are able to reach out to those goals or not. Right? So it is very much different from goal settings. In goal setting, what you do is generally set up a goal, what you want to achieve. In a model, you actually take this goal forward and make it more action oriented. Right? Understood? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why do we need a model? The definition says that coaching model will help your clients visualize complete journey with you, whether it is for 5 months, 10 months, 11 months, whatever time period you are going to spend with the client. It will actually help you out in finalizing what is it that is required to be given to them. It brings higher value so that your people, any of your clients can feel. Hi, good morning, Arjunji. So any of your clients can feel confident about your ability to coach them. Right? It's very important that during first session only you choose a model and you start performing everything, whatever you have to give to your clients in that particular model. Whether it can be, even psychologists around the world, every psychotherapist around the world, they follow these particular models, any of these models, so that they can keep a track of whatever is being given out to their clients. Right? Second point, it says that you can think of choosing the right type of coaching model as an extension of finding your niche. So, as a coach, I always keep talking to all of you, and we have been speaking about this also in our classes that every coach needs to have their own niche. Niche in the sense that you need to find out what exactly is unique in you. What is it that you are giving to your people and nobody else is trying to give it? Whether it can be your title, whether there is something, some new technique that you are bringing in, something, your creativity which you have created on your own. So whatever it is, it helps you. These coaching models helps you find out your niche plus whatever is the right particular model that you choose. So we will go through each model one by one. Let me know if you have any questions. So number one is clear model. So clear is abbreviations basically. So it basically talks about C from contract, L is listen, E is explore, A is action, and R is review. So how are we going to set up the entire session that we have with our client is basically in this particular. Somebody is joining the class. Give me a second. Right. Right. So C says that contract. Contract means that it's not really a written agreement that you need to sign, though it is very important. I generally prefer to sign a written agreement with every of my clients because it helps you out in setting up an expectations that what exactly are they looking at and what exactly are you looking at. Because it is very important for every of your client to understand that you are not the psychologist. Correct. You do not have a scientific degree into doing anything that they are looking at. You can call yourself a therapist only for alternative healings. You can call yourself a life coach because you are looking into these particular areas. Until and unless you have a degree or diploma which makes you a psychotherapist or psychologist, you should not even talk about those things into your sessions. So it's very important. So when you are signing an agreement, make it very clear to all your people that it is not really something that you are not, right? They should not look at you from that perspective. Because you're not going to give them any medicines, right? You're not going to suggest them any kind of scientific allopathy medicines and everything, right? So that's very important. Now establish the scope. It's very important that you write down very neatly or let your client know about the scope of what are you going to do in these sessions. For example, if you are going taking them through emotional coaching, right? So in emotional coaching, what are the things that you have planned out? Right? So first it should be very clearly planned out for you. Then set it out to your client that these are the things that we are going to do. Whether it is one therapy every session, whether it is any emotional, maybe just listening sessions, 2 or 3 listening sessions, then finding out diagnosis sessions, all those things. So it has to be properly written down and then given to the clients. Similarly, for yoga life coaches, it's very important that you write down that you are going to use yoga and relaxation techniques or meditation into your coaching sessions, and this is how the entire plan looks like for 6 months. So always prepare your plan for 6 months so that your scope is basically being spoken about neatly. That this is what you're looking at because you know that yoga cannot do wonders in just 2 days time or 5 days time, right? It takes time for the body to get adjusted to the entire procedure. For meditation also to see the right results, it requires a lot of practice. So practicing both yoga and meditation during your life coaching is very important to use, but looking into it that it will take time to reach the results and outcomes. Right? So that is the contract that you are going to establish with your client. Then L says that listen. It's very important. Like I have been saying that for life coaches across the world, listening is the word that should be there in your mind and brain and your heart all the time. Anywhere you go, you just have to start listening to people to understand their problems more. Because what people say and what people do not say, there is always something in between which is left to say. That what is not being said is what you have to hear. So it's difficult, but it comes with practice. So people will generally give you signs if there is an abuse in the family. They won't say and talk about it openly because there are chances that the abuser might be sitting with just next to them. Right? So suppose there is a domestic abuse in the family and the woman has come out to you for life coaching. There are chances that the husband is just sitting next to her during the life coach session. Right? So she may not be able to speak it out much. If somebody is attending online sessions, you don't know what kind of place they are sitting in and what is the kind of things they are sharing with you. So it's always good that you nudge, like you can read this word nudge, matlab ask questions so that they can answer those questions so well that you can understand what is the problem that they are going through. See, until and unless we will not go to the grassroots level of the problem, whatever we will tell them superficially is not going to give them the right solution. The problem will again come up in some time. So that will never go from the grassroots level. So it's very important during your conversation, try and nudge them, ask them such questions, give them that kind of feeling that you are there, you're going to handle everything for them, you are going to take them out through whatever they are facing, and hence encourage them to talk more. Right? Your job in this particular model says that your job is to listen more and then keep going on. Then third is explore. Explore is that getting into the details of everything. Why a person is affected by certain situations. If there is a problem in the childhood, then ask more questions around childhood. What happened? What are the things that they are doing? All those things is something you can perceive that it has happened during the teenage years. Ask them those questions. So whatever, after you have listened in second step, it's much easier for you to explore and ask more questions around that area. Right? Then action. Right? This is the time when you are actually signing a contract with your person without getting into a contract agreement, not a written agreement, but mutual understanding that something that I'm going to tell you, you have to start applying that now in your life. Until unless see, yoga is something, meditation is something. Till the time you're not practicing it, you cannot really do anything about it, right? You cannot just read it in the theory. You cannot say कि हाँ मुझे प्राणायाम के बारे में सब पता है and I'm getting fitter, right? You have to perform, you have to practice. Similarly, for any other activity that you are going to do, any relaxation therapies, any psychological tool that you are going to use, all those things has to be practiced. Until the time they won't say there is no agreement that yes, I am going to do this from now onwards, 3 times in a week, 4 times in a week, whatever you are suggesting, that has to be. So that commitment to change is very important that you need to get it signed by them. Sometimes they won't sign it on the paper. Sometimes it's just a mutual understanding, but you have to ensure. See, action means you have to ensure that people are doing it and how convincing you are, how persuasive you are, how much is your skills so that they can listen to you and start performing those actions. Most of the time, what happens is that when people look at you, the way you talk to them, the way you perform these 3 steps, contract, listen, explore, they have given enough time to you, sitting across to you, talking to you. So they start believing in you as somebody who is a helper, right? Somebody who is a caretaker, somebody who can understand their needs and requirements. So most of the time, action is generally they do it, but there are many lazy people who will come across. At least for yoga, they will say, we don't know it, we don't want to perform it. They will say, we will do it at home. So it's always good that you start your own yoga studio if you want to become a yoga life coach. It's always good to have a small studio, any small place wherever you are conducting your session so that you can show them and you can start performing those yoga asanas with you. It's very important. For emotional coaching, it's not really required. If you're not going to use yoga, you don't really have to do a practice session. But yes, when you are specializing in your techniques, try and talk to the people and start using those techniques one by one with them. Right? Then review. Now, after all the sessions are over, and you have seen, you have given them actions to perform, you can always do that, right? After every session, or maybe, after 3 or 4 sessions, take the feedbacks and follow-ups. Very important, right? It's very important to go back and see how the progress is happening and if the sessions are really helping them out or not, because that's the time, these review times in between basically gives you uh, a chance, if the coaching session is not working, what new you can bring in so that things can start really work. You will see that one particular thing, even if the root problem is same, but whatever has worked for one person may not work for the second person. So sometimes you have to fine tweak your things accordingly. right? You have to bring in some change as per the personality of the people, like we spoke about it in the last sessions. It's very important that your style of coaching predicts that what kind of personality type this person is, and through that personality type, then you can bring in your reviews and feedbacks and change the way you are planning to do this. Correct? So that's the clear model of coaching. This clear model is used by maximum number of people because it brings a lot of clarity to every coach, and across the world people use, because it's a very scientific model, it has shown good results, and hence people prefer to choose this particular mode of model, right? All these models that we are going to talk about are used extensively by the coaches, by life coaches across the world. There is no such method which says that this is 100% accurate, right? Because it's not really very scientific kind of a thing. So it works on people, sometimes doesn't work on people. And suppose it, there are people who call themselves life coach without going through all these things, right? So they just perform life coaching without really getting any certification, because even now in India and across the world, there is no such specific certification body which authorizes that life coaches should have this kind of certification. Right? So people generally use different kind of techniques. But in Western culture, ICC coaching is basically ICC coaching certificate is one of the very renowned certificates that makes people life coach for a lifetime. So those certificate talks about this particular model and says that this is very, very concrete. It really brings good result. So you can use this. Then आता है आपका STEPA. So STEPA is basically, again, it's an abbreviation. It says that S is subject, T is target identification, E is emotions, P is perception, the next P is place and plan, and A is action. So quite similar to the clear, but yes, the words has changed and the context has changed. Right? So subject means you need to understand the context. Whatever subject is under discussion, you need to really, really understand. Sometimes the subject can be your client also, the entire person, whatever is going on with that person. So that becomes your subject, and you need to study your subject in a proper manner so that you can find out what exactly is the issue, what is the problem, what is the area where you have to work around with these people. So that's called step subject. Then target identification. Now you can use your goal settings here to find out what exactly is what you're looking at. Right? Hence that collaboration of goal setting models that we studied and your coaching model now comes here as a collaboration, right? So here you can use SMART model to find out what exactly is the outcome or the goal that you're looking at to find out and solve with the person, right? Then third are the emotions. Now this is more about emotional coaching technique. This is basically used for that particular purpose where you have a lot of emotional problems, distress, stress, anything related to emotions being talked about. So you start understanding those things in a very, very critical manner, and then you see the progress is happening or not as per the goal setting. You need to understand the emotions, and I think understanding emotions is the most complex thing that is there in the world, right? So people say something else, they want something else, and they mean something else. Every human being comes with different kind of a problem. They will say and tell you that they have depression, but they don't know what kind of symptoms they are showing. What is it that is going on with their life? Some people do not, they are not even able to identify what exactly is wrong with them in their emotions. They feel so confused. They are very much into that zone where they don't even feel that whether they are getting up in the morning is difficult. After getting up in the morning, the next step towards what needs to be done after getting up. So, there is no clarity of how my day is going to look like. So, for a normal person like you and me, what do we do generally after getting up? What is the routine that we follow? Tell me, what is the routine
Small
that you follow?
prayer and pressing up.
Sorry?
Small prayer, morning prayer, and freshen up.
Yeah, so we freshen up first thing. Then after that, कुछ नहीं करते.
Revising the notes.
Okay. Arjunji, what do you
Ma'am.
do? Yeah, yes.
Ma'am, I didn't understand the question. Please repeat it once
Morning.
again.
The question is, how does your day is planned out when you get up? After you get up, what do you
Morning.
do? Yeah. Yes, Arjunji.
After getting up morning, what to say? I will help my wife to start her yoga class. Plus, she will start her class by 5:30.
Hmm.
So 5 o'clock we usually get up, and 5:30 I will help her to start the class, and I will also join her class at 5:30. 6 till 6:15 we will do the class. After that we start to regular work and routine.
Right. So what is that regular work on the team?
Regular work means what to say? For her, she will plan for her other classes and for what to say appointment. As she is a physiotherapist, patients will come. What are the patients will come today? Today, her appointments, everything she will plan. Myself, what is the work for today? Sales plan. What are the places we have to visit? That thing I will plan and execute. Morning
Right.
session.
Right.
For
This is
planning
what
session,
we
mostly
do.
will be planning.
Correct. So after getting up, so sometimes, we are so habitual of our routine that we understand and we know that's what is planned. Right. So that confusion is never there. That is what I wanted to tell you. But what happens with people who have these problems like bipolar or depression or too much of anxiety वालों के लिए इतना नहीं, but depression is really that problem. So they don't understand what needs to be done after getting up. They just do not know. So that confusion itself creates more confusion because they are zoned out completely. They don't know what needs to be done, how my day should look like. And most of the time, what happens is they do not want to talk about it with anybody else. So they prefer to stay alone. They prefer their own solitude. And when they go into solitude, usually for a healthy person, healthy mental health basically tells you that if you are in solitude, you're enjoying your solitude also. You're listening to songs, you're writing something, or even if you're in your own company or just doing introspection, something. So you don't get bored and you do not have that kind of a problem where you are thinking about something drastic to happen with you. But people with depression, usually when they sit in solitude, when they are all alone by themselves, they start thinking about totally destructive things. A lot of negativity starts happening with them. And that is why it is suggested that people with depression should never be left alone. Right? They need to be in a company somewhere with somebody else. And most of the time, you will see people who become suicidal are usually the people who were left alone by their family members, by their friends. So even after nudging them that what is wrong with you and you don't get an answer, expect this, right? People with depression do not know what is wrong with them. So you need to, as a coach, it's your responsibility to find out what is wrong with them, and it will not going to come in one session or two sessions. Right. My experience working with people with depression is that it takes good amount of time just to find out what is the problem. What is the grassroots level problem of why they are feeling depressed? Usually they sound really happy. Many people will come to you and they will sound very, very normal. They will talk about all those things that you and I talk about. So sometimes you will get confused whether they are really depressed or it's just that, something other is wrong. But people with depression comes with different kind of modes and modules. So when you go into the details, again, as I'm saying that research anything that is going to come to you for depression, go through the notes that you have already prepared with your research, find out what is the problem, what needs to be done. That research has to be performed really, really well before getting into this life coaching sessions. Because sometimes their life is in your hand as a coach, directly, indirectly. So you become responsible for how are they going to live their life going forward. Right? Even if it's 10%, 20%, most of the things they are going to do, but you become responsible simultaneously. Hence, life coaching is such a responsible job in this world. You are basically healers who are going to perform the healing sessions on them. So that healing has to be felt by them, and they can only feel your feelings when you study their emotions really correct. So that emotions has to be taken out really well. People will come and cry. So, be ready for all these kind of emotions. They can be a lot of crying sessions, they can be aggression, they can be a lot of aggressiveness people will throw. Sometimes people will just throw objects on your table, whatever way you are conducting. So all these things are going to happen. So it's very important that you be prepared and do not show your emotions immediately. You have to be with very balanced people. Then other next perception. So now after you have understood their emotions, you have understood their complexities of their emotions, it's very important to sit and see what is it that is going, the bigger picture behind that, whatever they are going through. Right? As I say, any trauma, any abuse, any kind of problem that they are facing right now in adulthood always have a root cause problem somewhere in their childhood and their teenage years. Right? Always. So you have to find out whether a person is missing in their life, whether the father was not really loving, the mother did not give that much of time, some abuse had happened, something happened in the school, some bullying has happened. So all those things you'll have to find out. You will have to explore all the areas of their childhood to understand what is the problem. Because as per science, the entire personality is developed between the years of 3 years to 7 years of every human being. Rest 20% happens after teenage years, right? So by the time we reach adulthood, our personality is already set up. So unconscious mind is filled with all the kind of things. So you need to understand and explore why somebody is behaving in the adulthood manner in such a way, and that bigger picture has to come out in the, like I gave you example, I think last week, that after completing almost 6 months of sessions, we found out that there was a child abuse also, because of which the things were not moving ahead. Right? And even he forgot to mention and I forgot to ask. Not forgot to ask, I did not really entertain that particular area. And then we found out that this is where the most emotions were stored, where the problem is actually. And then things were started shifting. And since then, it's been, I think, 20-25 days, and the growth is happening now. Very fast, very swiftly. So it's very important that you understand the bigger picture and find out. Then plan and pace. Very important again. So define a series of steps. Again, the same thing. Then you need to plan out your sessions now. What pace you want to go. Because once you have understood their emotions and the bigger problem, now it's in your hand. How are you going to take this ahead? Whether you want to control the sessions initially and then take fast forward later on, or you want to do fast forward in between and then go get slow at the end. So totally, the pace has to be designed by you. The planning has to be designed by you. Totally looking at the person's growth or problems. Sometimes they may not sound very enthusiastic initially, so you have to plan your pace accordingly as per their routine and as per their problem. Right? Then other action and amend. So action is that planning you have done, now it's time to action. And again, amend is review. So feedback is important. After every action, the decisions that you have made, the things that you have started applying, which asana is working, which is not, what kind of relaxation techniques you can bring into the sessions, what are the other models that you can bring into the sessions, according to the problem of the person, you have to plan that out. And in a very sensible manner. Right? People will tell you, I need quick remedy. You are not the person for quick remedy. You are not allopathic doctor. You cannot give them a medicine and that pain will go away. Right? You are the ones, see, the life coaches are the people, especially, if you are using your life coaching with meditation and everything, you are the people who can actually understand these problems at a very, very grassroots level to take them out completely from their life. जैसे homeopathy होता है ना, why we say that homeopathy takes time, right? We say that the homeopathy takes time. Why homeopathy medicine takes time to actually work on us? Have you tried?
No,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Because it removes the problem from root.
Correct. So it takes time because they generally do not give you superficial level kind of a treatment. It basically works on your grassroots, completely under down, where exactly the problem. So even if it is called, maybe if you're taking it for cough and cold, so it does not try to. What allopathy does is it suppresses the cold, and so you start feeling better quickly. What homeopathy does is that it may take time. You will not feel immediate relief from cough and cold, but going forward, your cough and cold frequency of happening cough and cold will reduce. Right? So this is what you actually work on. So similarly, the same difference is between allopathy doctor and life coaches. So what life coaches basically does is we work on the grassroots level. Hence, the sessions are going to take time. You are not the remedial doctor who will give them immediate relief. Yes, immediate reliefs are also possible if you are using the correct method of meditations and relaxations, whatever it is. And then you can immediately tell them that this is how you are going to feel for the entire lifetime if you perform those things. Right? So this is your step up, which is second model. Now, third model is little complex, a little difficult to understand. So let me know if you do not understand what I'm trying to say, then I'll tell with the example. So it's basically called tune in and tap in model. Right? So tune in, matlab, the first step basically is tune in the awareness in the person. Tune in the sense that you need to find out, you have to help out the person in trying to understand the awareness about something, some problem exists. And what is that problem? Then tap in exploration. Tap in exploration means that you're tapping, like you do this particular thing. So tap in exploration means again you're going into the exploration mode, finding out more about the problem areas, what is it that is wrong, all those things. Right? You will see there is a lot of repetition that I am talking about because the models work in a similar manner. Right? You need to perform the diagnosis, then you need to explore more, then you need to find more clarity, then you need to plan, then action, and then feedback. It just there are different models designed by different people talk about this in a different language altogether. So after you have tuned into their awareness, now it's time to tap in their exploration. Then turn on the clarity part with you also and with them also. Bring the clarity that what is it that is going to happen. Bring on the clarity that this is how you are going to perform the actions, and that is how more clarity will come into for each person, for the life coach also and for the client as well. Then tune in obstacles. Tell them what kind of obstacles will come, or you perceive what kind of obstacles will come if you plan this action. Right? For example, people not getting up on time to perform yoga asanas. Right? People are generally lethargic because of their too much of weight, they are not going to perform. So all those obstacles that can come into the entire duration of your life coaching sessions, you need to plan them out really well. So tuning in the sense that this is the time when you need to plan it out really well so that people also get to know that this is the kind of problems that I'm going to face, obstacles. Then tap in again. So what are you going to tap in now? Your creativity, your action, which are inspired by all your sessions that you've taken before. Right? So your creativity will come here. What model you're choosing and how are you going to take them through this particular life coaching sessions is basically what you need to do. So for example, I have not seen too many people bringing pranic healing and Reiki in their sessions. So this is what we do. Right? I thought of it for quite some time. Then I thought, let me bring into the life coaching sessions and see how people are actually perceiving it. So initially, I don't tell them that it's Reiki that I'm going to perform or it is pranic healing that I'm going to perform. But yes, then once we see the result initially that it is happening with the person, then we start telling them and exploring them more. So you need to bring in your own creativity. There are many tools which are available that you can include in your life coaching sessions that can be inspired. So yoga is again one of the tools and techniques for sure. But again, with yoga, there is a problem that a lot of people who are very lazy, who do not perform, who do not want to perform any physical activity, really face that problem. But because you are a yogi and yogini, you need to see how you are going to motivate them to do that. So that's the creativity that you can bring in. What kind of sessions you can introduce initially, what kind of things that you can bring in initially so that they start feeling motivated towards doing yoga. So what is the most easiest thing that you can introduce to somebody? Let me ask this question for yoga life coaching. What do you think initially if somebody is very lazy, very lethargic, do not want to get up, what is it that you are going to bring in as yoga asanas that the person will perform? Lethargy bhagane ke liye, what is the one asana which really removes lethargy from your life?
Pranayama.
But somebody doesn't want to perform pranayama, what will you do?
Ma'am, this one Savasan, that what to say? Uh, um, Savasan and Yoga Nitra help them
Yoga
to.
Nidra.
Yeah. Right, so easy one, you understand that, right? So Yoga Nidra and Shavasana, people really love to do because they are generally very, very lethargic. They don't have to do anything in that. But it will help them actually, you can tune into their mind, exploring that what is it that they are going through. And Shavasana is going to help find out immediate relaxation to whatever is happening in their brain during that time. When you perform Shavasana with the healing session, I mean, with meditation session, so Shavasana actually becomes a wonderful meditation in itself. You will keep giving them a guiding, it can become a guided meditation where you are the ones who is controlling it from outside, you are giving them instructions, and the person who is performing is actually, starts that visualization and imagination, and things start getting cured in little while. Right? So initial phases. So this is how, this is where your creativity is going to come once you understand your subject really well. So your subject is going to be the person you are dealing with, and the content and knowledge is going to be the area where you work. So your relaxation techniques, meditation techniques, yoga, emotional coaching, all these things has to be very clearly written down by you. You have prepared your notes really, really well. Your research on the content has to be very, very strong. Because right now, when we are doing this session, I am asking these questions, you are answering that, right? Here you have time to think and then find out. But when you're talking to somebody and they say, okay, what I am going to do now, right? I am very lazy and I'm very lethargic. I don't know how to get up in the morning. I can't really perform any asanas. I have a lot of aches and muscle pains and joint pains. How do I do? What do I do? So this has to come immediately. Okay, let's perform Shavasana. Let me show you how to do it. Similar symptoms, right? So that's how you can actually get into the action mode immediately. The chances is that people generally sometimes they try to test your knowledge also. It's not just that they have come to you for solutions. Sometimes they already know it. They must have read it on Google, or they must have read it somewhere, or they might themselves be yoga coaches, or they know yoga. They have performed that, but still they just want to test you and see how quick you are into finding out the solutions for them. So people generally do that. With us, it keeps happening. Especially when we do these sessions with any yoga instructors who are already uh, done that courses and all that, they ask different kind of questions altogether. So you need to be prepared. You don't know who is going to come to you. Then other hand, turn on fulfillment. So turn on fulfillment is basically, this is where you need to align with the entire uh, physical, mental, and what do you call it, spiritual level of the person. You need to give them that joy that they're looking for. You need to give them that fulfillment. Empower them with different kind of things so that they start feeling meaningful about their life. Especially with mental health problems or anything to do with mental health, people generally leave that joy from their life. They don't know how to get that fulfillment from the life. They don't understand that life in itself brings so much of beautiful things to you. So that gratitude mode, gratitude meditations, relaxation, all these things has to be included into the session so that they can start feeling that good things about life is also out there. It's very, very important to give them that joy. So what is, again, I'm going to ask this, what is the quickest way of bringing joy to you? What is it that brings joy to you now at this point in time when you are such adult, you are so feel life so much?
Meeting friends
Okay.
bring
For
us
you, it is meeting friends. Okay.
meeting friends will bring us joy.
Smiling.
Sorry?
Smiling.
Smiling, yes. Okay. That's a good thing. Neha, what, what brings joy to you? Immediate joy.
Traveling new places.
Okay, traveling new places. Good. But traveling new places is a planned activity, right? You need to plan it out and go out.
Yeah,
Immediate
planned
in the
only.
sense, yeah, right now. So like sitting here, what is it that you will do and it will bring joy to you right away?
Uh, Good interaction with you.
Good interaction with people, okay. Rati, Santosh ji?
Cracking some jokes or something like that.
Yeah, cracking some jokes is a good way, correct? Very nice.
Spiritual life, ma'am. Going to temple, chanting mantra.
Going to temple might be say again little longer. Duration is required, but yes, chanting mantra can bring joy. Very good. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, that's true. Neha, nothing for you?
No,
Joy.
smiling and chanting mantra. Actually thinking about
Not your kids. Not
that. Yes.
finding out. See, it is said that when you are, you become mother, you are actually growing up again, right? Because you go through that childhood once again. Because as a mother, we are the ones who spend most time with the kids. Right? So kids and pets brings that immediate joy. That is the reason why across the world, a lot of life coaches, a lot of psychologists, psychotherapists, these people suggest if you have a mental health problem that to have a pet around you. So that pet actually brings that immediate joy also. And yes, cracking a joke is obviously a wonderful way. Anything that you can read, your mantra chanting, yoga asanas, pranayama can also bring a lot of fulfillment immediately because it opens up the brain immediately. The right amount of, see, again, it's scientific, the right amount of oxygen is in the body, the higher you, the better you feel about your life and everything. So pranayama, even if you're not performing any yoga asanas, pranayama is something that you need to perform every day on you and on the people that you're with. That will bring immediate relief, fulfillment, and joy to people. And if people do not understand pranayama, that it is from Hindu asana, Hindu yoga, Vedas, and all that, so just say breathing technique, simple. That's interesting. So tuning and tune off model works in this way. It is basically this. You need to tune in. Any one of you can read this, please. Akriti, you want to read it? Slowly, right? First read tune in and then break. Yeah, go ahead.
Tuning. This is about what is and what the client is feeling in relation to that. Tuning in is a process of becoming aware of your thoughts, your body, your emotions, your energy, and your intuition or soul guidance. The goal is getting present and expressing your authentic truth. This is accomplished by getting out of your head and tuning into what's real from your heart.
Yeah. So, right, tuning in the sense that you're just turning inside. You are just going inside you. You are feeling what is your body saying, what is your emotions are telling, how is your energy level, what exactly is your body and mind is trying to tell you. Right? Most of the times we stop listening to our bodies. Most of the time we stop listening to our mind and our heart. So it's very important that you stop listening to your brain at some point in time that नहीं हमें ऑफिस जाना है तो जाना ही है, you need to perform this thing. Sometimes it's very important to listen to your body and mental health, right? You need to understand that if you do not feel, especially during menstruation now, uh, whole everybody knows in this world that every woman goes through menstruation, right? 5 days are difficult. Out of 5 days, first 2 3 days are very difficult for some people. I mean, for 70% of women, it's really, really difficult. They do not want to get up. In fact, people who tells that in older days, women were stopped from going to the kitchen, going to the bathroom, perform activities. The pure reason for doing this was because everybody knew during that time they need rest. Now, slowly, it became a superstition. It got related to all those things, and things. The basic purpose of why women should take a break for 3 days and stay in the room only is just for the purpose that they need rest. Right. So now if you are going through menstruation, imagine what kind of problems. See, because I'm just taking you through all those problems because these are real life problems people will come to you for. People feel very low in their energy during these 5 days, right? They have mood swings, different kind of problems. Some people actually think of committing suicide because they can't go through this pain every month, every for 5 days. Initial days when teenagers starts going through periods and they do not get right kind of guidance, they actually start feeling that there is something really, really wrong with my body. See, we are a privileged lot because somewhere we have got this guidance about menstruation and how it happens, maybe from our mothers, from our sisters, from somebody, right? But 80% of women in India do not even have the what do you call it, privilege of getting any good sanitary pads. Nothing clean. They still use mitti, that rate or something to use during those 5 days. They still use that cloth which is being worn out, the old clothes and from their household to do that. So all these things actually brings more infection in their body. Right? So imagine that only 12% of the entire women in India gets healthy periods, right? They actually perform that. So imagine 87% of women do not even have access to clean clothes, clean sanitary pads, or any other such means. So this is one of the biggest problems. And now with periods, one more problem is associated with this, which is anemia. Less blood count, less hemoglobin, anemia. So people generally go through all these things. So again, if somebody is coming to you that I feel lethargic, I am very low in energy, the chances are that this person has low iron, anemia, and that reason is because they do not have healthy menstruation. So this is how you need to find out the core problem and then solve it. Right. That's how things are going to be related. So this is just one example I'm giving. So tune in the sense that tune into entire inner self, see where the things are going wrong. What is the root cause problem of the problem which is superficially highlighted? Right? Because generally people say, I'm feeling very low in energy. I am lazy. I am lethargic. I don't feel like getting up from the bed. Something is so there can be multiple reasons. They can be thyroid associated with this. They can be iron levels going associated with there is low vitamin D levels associated with it. So you need to find out the exact reason why it is happening. Hence, this tune in is going to help you out with that. Right. The second is then tap in. Go on, Akriti, please read this.
Yes, ma'am. Tapping. This is a whole brain process that explores the client's motivation and desires. We tap into the right brain to explore longings, needs, dreams, passion, and their deepest why or root cause. We tap into the left brain to explore beliefs, perceptions, strengths, values, personality, or other types of self-assessments can be used in this stage to help the client know themselves.
Yeah. So tapping in the sense now, see, it is again into more psychological way of handling things, so more emotional coaching method. So this Melvin Hendricks model basically is used in a lot of emotional coaching sessions, right? So you need to tap in to understand what your right brain is accommodated with or associated with, and then you need to understand what your left brain is more associated with. So people who perform most of the activity from left brains are more creative. People who perform most activities from right brains are people generally who go through that into science and mathematics related things. So they are more logical, that kind of things happens. Right. So you need to understand where to explore more. So your questions should be ready with that. Questions which is related to whether the right brain is more active or to understand whether the left brain is more active. Right. So right brain basically taps into longings, our needs, our dreams, our passion, the deepest of the why of the root cause. Right? Left brain, on the other side, is more about how much beliefs that we have. The entire belief system that we accommodated during the lifetime. People have told us about various things. All these superstitions, stereotypes, biases, prejudices, all these things basically comes here. Then your perception about somebody, how do you actually perform and start believing in something? Your strengths, your value system that has been included in you, instilled in you. So all these things talks about these two different brain types. Right? So during the sessions also, I'll take you through how you actually tap these emotions in the last two sessions. We will talk about psychology a little bit in details, but that's at the last, not really right now. Then personality or other types of self-assessment. Like I told you that there is a model from which you can find out. This is called 16 personality types model. You need to find out what kind of personality type the person is having, and hence you can plan out your results better. So tap in the sense that after tuning in, you have gone inside, thought about what is the thing that you need to go. Tap in the sense that you need to find out where exactly the root cause problem exists in your left brain or right brain, and hence you can bring out the solutions. Then last is turn on. So turn on is basically integrations of feelings and desires. All of the things that is there, you need to now find out and work on what is the purpose of my life, where I need more clarity, how am I going to direct my life so that I can live it with fulfillment. So you as a life coach have to empower them with such solutions so that the whole brain process starts functioning in a right manner. Whether people are working with their right brain more or their left brain more, you need to bring all those solutions in a manner that it brings very clear cut clarity to the person that, okay, fine, yeah, this is my life, this is how I have to live my life. This is the purpose of my life. Whether this purpose exists in living life, maybe just as a housewife and performing day to day activities in a much more better way. People generally think that a lot of people will come to you and they say, I'm performing wonderfully well in my job, still I'm not content, right? I'm still looking for purpose of my life. So if they're not really looking at the purpose of life, the purpose of life is right now, right there in front of them. Maybe performing their job with whole heart is what they, imagine now Ambani is there. Now Ambani says, I'm making huge amount of wealth, right? And still I am looking for purpose of life. Does it make sense? He's already has a purpose of his life. He's creating not just wealth for himself, but he has given a life to so many people. There are millions of people who are working with them. He's the one who is actually taking care of their family needs and requirements. So his purpose of life is not just creating wealth for him or his family, but for other families also. So indirectly, it is all linked, right? So his spiritual thing is also being sorted really well because that's what he has done, right? That's what his father has also done. So this is what, so you need to find out very deeply that if person is not clear about their purpose of life, it does not really make sense that what is bringing fulfillment to them. So like, people say that why do you charge money? To me, they ask you, why do you charge money for Reiki, from Reiki sessions that you perform on people? Because I charge very hefty amount, good amount. So I say that if I see that the person is about to get some rectification, some remedial, immediate relief from Reiki sessions, why shouldn't I earn money from them? And it is not just about earning money from that particular session. It is basically change of energy that is happening between two people. The person who is bringing relief to them. So it's like, you are a doctor, you are giving them some solution. So imagine a doctor has to perform a heart surgery. Will they perform heart surgery free of cost? They won't. The bigger the hospital, the better the doctor is, their charges are going to be like that. So similarly, for us also, it is an exchange of energy that is happening. If you're confident that you're going to solve their problem, there is no such thing that you cannot ask for money. I don't know why people are so possessive about money, or why do they think that earning money is a bad thing. Earning money is one of the most purest things which is happening in the world. It's just that money is just a currency, it's just a paper, right? You should not give them that much of a value. But yes, once you are receiving it, you need to acquire wealth. And acquiring wealth does not mean you have properties or you have money or all those things. Acquiring wealth means you have time for yourself. You are content and satisfied also in whatever you are doing. So bringing wealth is something like that, that even if you're sitting here attending these classes, there is somebody who is making money for you. That is the kind of wealth that you need to make. So this is how the wealth making thing comes into spirituality. Because again, we have not explored this area. People will come to you and say, I am doing so much of hard work. I'm performing job from morning 9 to 5:30, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening. Still, money doesn't stay with me. Still, I am not able to become wealthy. Still, I am not becoming rich. I still have money problems. By the time I reach 25th of the month, the money is gone. So what is it that you are going to tell them as a life coach? We have not explored this area.
We will ask them to make their expense analysis, ma'am. What is
Right.
their income? What is their expense they are spending? If he is earning 50,000 rupees, means his expense should be around 20 to 25. 50% only expense should be there. 10,000 will be 10 to or 20 to 25,000 should be in savings.
Hmm.
If he do expense for 45,000 means it will be difficult for him. If he get any emergency situation where in a month he has to spend for 1 lakh rupees.
Right.
So expense analysis, we will ask them to do.
Very important. So, when are we going to tell them to do expense analysis? When we have done it ourselves, right? So
Yes,
budgeting.
correct. If we do, yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So budgeting, analyzing how much is the money that you're making, where can you invest the money in a right manner so that it starts bringing you results also. So, and you will see that a lot of people have become financial life coaches. They call themselves that. Wealth life coaches, financial life coaches. So these are the people who are working into this area, very niche area of helping people understand their finances a little bit better. Right? Because they have understood that wealth management part really well. So go through that, understand again, doing a research is very important and it's not really difficult task. Right? It's very important that whatever money you are earning, so you need to segregate that into three different parts. We always tell people that at least have two different bank accounts with you. The one bank account, which is basically your budgeting bank account, where you are, if you are three earning members or two earning members in your family, all three of you equally putting that money in this budget account where you are actually spending the money on daily needs. For example, your rent, your household activities, whatever the kharcha is, the fees for your children, all those things that needs to go every month, and you have that fixed expenditure happening every month. Then the second bank account should be there where all three or two of you are equally putting money and saving it for the future. And then the third amount of, so 20% of your entire income should go into the investment every month. So whether it can be SIP, smaller kind of things, mutual funds, any property, anything that you want to invest in, 20% ensure that has to be going into that. So what is the wealth creation mantra basically is that 20% take out every month, no matter whether you're earning 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. The earlier you form this habit, the better it is. First, take that 20%, create it separately, spend it in the investment anywhere. Then you are left with 80%, 80% again. 50% out of this 80% should go into your daily expenditure kind of a budget, and then rest you can save. Save for holidays, for movies, for vacations, all the things. So that saving basically is happening for that purpose. You want to bring something bigger, you want to buy a large bed for yourself or large TV, whatever, the planning for immediate future. So that is, you have some marriage coming in, you have some festivals coming in. So that saving will help you out in planning your things accordingly. Right? So this is how your wealth creation mantra is, that segregate into 3 parts. Enjoy your life, and trust me, this works really, really well, wonderfully well. It will create your wealth also, and you won't even get to know. If you start this process at the age of 27, 28, and by the time you're 40, 45, you have good amount of money with you. Correct? And invest in startups. If you have good amount of money, suppose you get some bonus or something from your company you're earning right now, invest in startups. Some good startup, find out which startup is really good, invest some amount of money there, it will bring very good results to you. And this is how
Ma'am,
the wealth.
please give me some plans for saving money, ma'am.
Not really. Saving money, as I said, take out 20%. The moment you have money in your hand, say whether you are getting it on 1st of every month, 5th of every month, whenever your salary or your husband's salary or anybody's salary, any payment is coming, immediately take out 20% and invest wherever you want. Buy mutual funds, understand mutual funds really well. So mutual fund is always long-term things that will come to you. Or invest in SIP, you live anywhere. Just do that. And
Okay.
once you have good amount of money, say after 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, from ULIPs or mutual funds, then invest that money in a property.
Okay.
Buy a small property, even if it is 1-bedroom house or 2-bedroom house. Put it on rent, so that rental income will also add to your income. But invest. Even if it is, even if you're earning 100 rupees, even if you're spending 20 rupees on your savings and investment, it is a good amount of money, it will become good for you. And if you're earning, you're salaried employee somewhere, then your provident fund income is really, really well. You need to invest that later on whenever it comes. It's a saving that government has given us, so why not invest in that? 24% of your salary is going into provident fund. When it comes after your retirement or whenever you are actually coming out of the job, it brings huge amount of money.
Okay, ma'am.
And third thing is, if you understand share market really well, or you have somebody who understands share market well, invest in share market.
Trading.
Yeah, but very, very carefully. So see, it all depends upon everything. There is a mantra that everything goes up, comes down also. So you need to learn when to invest and when to take out. So initially start with small amounts, say even if 5,000 rupees, but try and learn when to invest and when to take that money. Over a period of time, you will understand this really well. And sitting at home, there's a friend of mine, and I'm not joking. She doesn't earn herself, so she invests her husband's money in the state market. So she understands finance really, really well, better than any one of us. And I don't know how she has acquired that skill. And she just do this much. And they bought a big house of 57 lakhs rupees purely from that money she earned in stock exchange. From this thing, right? And her husband was also really surprised how much money she earned. That is how. So it's all about, see, there is a technique for investing in share market. You need to understand that technique. Simple. And you don't need any logic for that. Just study the market for some time. Invest time. If you have time, invest in that. And then you will be able to do that. Right? So wealth creation is not difficult. During this time, imagine these guys who are putting in reels in social media and they are earning crores of money. So there is this boy called Farhan. what is his name? He was Faisal Khan, right? How much money does he earn? He's just 23, 24. He started making reels when he was 19 years old. So from 19 to 24, today he's on Khatron Ke Khiladi and many other, TV programs, in reality TV programs. He, when I got to know about his earning, he's earning around 2.3 crores in a year. Imagine, just from making reels. And we feel, I used to feel that making reels is basically waste of time. But there are some people who are earning money out of that. So it's a creative business. Once you understand it, you can actually earn good amount of money from that.
Okay.
Yeah. So digital marketing has actually opened up various areas from where you can earn money, right? A lot of areas. In fact, this business that we are talking about, life coaching, you can actually give it a different kind of shape altogether through digital marketing. Open up various accounts on various platforms, market yourself really, really well. Start with smaller reels, start with good creativity. Talk about these things because everybody needs this in today's time. No matter people are not talking about it, mental health has become such a big issue, right? That people are really, really, people are, feel shame to talk about this. They don't come out in open, but through your reels or through your social media marketing, they can actually get to know more about it. So that tapping is basically where you're tapping in the people the right problem is. And once you tap it really well in an unknown person, there are chances that he or she becomes client of yours as well. So you don't know who is reading your blogs or who is reading your social media posts. Like when you join different groups, the remedies that you write for people free of cost, you don't know how it is helping people. And trust me, you have written it for somebody else altogether. So there is a mompreneur group on Facebook who I generally write free of cost there. Somebody needs some problem solution, so just write it there. So the person who has asked questions may not come to you, but the people who are reading it, who are not really responding there, they will come and contact you that they really need your help. So you don't know where and which person you are really going to help out and who might become your client. So all these things happen. So digital marketing, digital media, social media is very, very powerful tool these days. You can actually tap into it for your growth and as a life coach, right? So this particular Melanie Hendricks model is basically again used for emotional care coaching more, less for life yoga life coach. But you can use it for both. So this is the stage 2 of that chart that we talked about. So tune in. This is basically now there is an EFT technique. EFT technique basically talks about tapping into your areas of body, which जैसे acupressure होता है. I'm sure you must have heard about acupressure. Right? So acupressure is a technique where you have to press on to the muscle points and it brings immediate relief to your body. So EFT technique is something like that. It's called emotional tapping technique. Emotional tapping technique says that which areas of your brain you need to tap like this. And it brings immediate relief to your body. Right. Again, EFT technique can be learned from a practitioner. You can take a certificate. It's a very good tool that can be performed in yoga, meditation, anywhere.
Oh,
It's a wonderful
tapping technique, na ma'am? What's the
it's
name
called
of that?
EFT technique. It's called
EFT.
emotionally tapping technique. F is also something I'm forgetting that.
Emotionally tapping technique.
Let me just give you the full form.
Where is available in this course, ma'am?
It is available. Many people are teaching. Yeah, it's called emotional freedom technique.
Emotional freedom technique.
Yeah.
EFT.
Yeah. So again, it's a acupressure is more Asian technique because it has come from China, Indonesia. EFT is more from Western countries. It has come. So it is basically pressing your pressure point or tapping into your pressure points from where you bring relief. Jesse, this chakra works on mental health things really well, right? So once you massage this particular Ajna chakra, Ajna is basically opening your mind immediately, right? So bringing you consciousness, empowerment. So EFT technique also talks about when you do this, it brings immediate relief to your body in certain areas of your body. So it's like tapping the right in your body, right pressure points, and then it brings immediate relief. And next are is the tapping. So tapping is basically to see what kind of actions you can create. Like we talked about in stage one, that your right brain and your left brain has to come out. So now you have to find out through the solutions. We talked about problems in the first stage. Stage two talks about finding the solutions for that. So in first we found out that right brain में क्या क्या problem हो सकते हैं, left brain has what kind of problems. Here you are getting solutions. So through imagination, visualization techniques, you can work on your right brain more through different kind of creative thinking process, intuition, bringing intuition onto the focus. All these things can help your left brain. Right? Left brain actually works for creativity. So the more creative you can become, if you feel that a person is actually getting problems from the left brain, then you have to make it more active. So how you can make it more active? Get into art and therapy. What kind of art and therapies? It can be same thing that I spoke last time also, mandala art therapy. So you get into that. Even give a paper clean sheet to a person, ask them to doodle or figure out something. That is also very relaxation therapy. Then painting, dancing, singing, writing, all these things.
Listening music, ma'am. Listening music.
To music, yes. So all these things are basically creative. It activates your creative part of the brain, which is your left side of the brain. Then right brain is more about visualization, that you visualize your body going out of these things, that like we did whiteboarding technique, any kind of imagination that you can take people through, maybe in your yoga nidra or shavasana, you are asking them, giving them guided meditation of imagining something there somewhere outside. You can, through spiritual meditation, right kind of meditation technique, you can actually see your soul going out, leaving your body and then coming back. Right? You can actually feel. So your imagination can actually take you through that. You can actually go to the cosmos, come back and feel relaxed. So a lot of people, we call it out of body experiences, out of body techniques. So you can actually go through that also. So for right brain, that works really, really well.
Ma'am, what are
Yeah.
the actions are there, ma'am, in right brain activation? Anything is there? Techniques.
Pranayama
Right
is
brain.
wonderful technique.
Pranayama.
For
Yes,
both,
pranayama.
yeah, for right brain and left brain, pranayama work really, really well. So you just have to imagine that your right side of brain, your right brain is activating more while you're breathing in. You feel that the breath is going inside your brain, and then when you're releasing it, all your problems, things are coming out. See, brain is a very, very beautiful scientific tool that you have. And the best part is you are the driver. With your consciousness, you can drive it really, really well. Now, how do you want to drive it? You can become complete in charge. You can become full in control of your brain. Right? The
Meditation
more,
is used, right, ma'am?
yes, meditation is a wonderful tool for
Wonderful.
this.
Um,
So the more you will tell your brain to perform the activities, there are chances that you are in control. So for example, very easiest thing I tell you to do or perform, if you would like to, suppose you're feeling pain in any part of your body, any part of your body. Just keep repeating for 2-3 minutes. Just keep repeating. I am not feeling pain. I am relaxed. I am happy. I am feeling joy. Do not think about pain. Do not talk about pain to your brain. Just say, I am feeling happy. I am relaxed. I am full of joy. Just repeat this. And you will see that you have stopped feeling pain immediately in 3 to 4
they give the
minutes.
positive affirmation.
Yes. Yeah. So anything positive, you're telling your brain, you're controlling your brain and saying that there is no pain that I feel.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So do it for the physical first and then for the emotional. So once you practice it, you will realize that actually pain is in our control, whether we want to feel it or not, or you become attuned to the pain. You accept it. Yes, that I know that pain is happening, but whether I want to concentrate on pain or more concentration on my joy is in my hands. Right? So just follow that technique and then it will be gone. So this stage 2 actually is all about that you need to find out the techniques, the solutions, the areas of where you are bringing them solutions, and see whether it is aligning with the fulfillment of goals of your clients or not. Because ultimately, this particular technique of tune in and tune out is purely all about giving emotional ultimate goal is that lot of joy, fulfillment in their life. So this particular model can be used for emotional care coaching really, really well. Then आता है idea model. Again, abbreviation. Idea is initiation, discovery, empowerment, and accomplishment. So the steps are equally similar to what you have done in step A and clear. It just that they have changed the abbreviation. So initiation means you are initiating the session. You started talking to them, so your diagnosis is happening. You're finding more about the person. Discovery is going into detail of the problem, finding out what exactly is the discovery area, what are the emotional or physical grassroots level problems which exist in the person. Empowerment is then finding out the actions and solutions, giving them empowerment through the solutions that you have, and accomplishments is yes, the outcomes and the results. So very simplistic model, but you can actually use it in your. So it can be used for people who are not really very difficult to handle, areas where you can actually work very quickly. So this works with them. And during the initiation itself, you can introduce a lot of relaxation techniques. Because sometimes people are not able to think through what is the area of problem that I'm going through. So in between I and D, which is initiation and discovery, take them through visualization kind of a thing. Take them through that, visualize that you are in childhood. See, go through that thing again. Live that childhood once again in your brain. Go through all the problems. So it's all about what you're speaking during that time. So it's kind of a hypnosis kind of a thing. Again, hypnosis is another wonderful model that can be used with emotional care coaching. But you can learn hypnosis again from a very technical technician only. You cannot just perform it. Right? You need to learn it from somebody who performs. Hypnosis can be another tool or maybe just a guided way of telling people to visualize. So visualization is very equivalent to hypnosis. Hypnosis is more technical. You need to learn when to come out of that experience of visualization. Some people also perform past life therapies, past life regression therapies. So they take you through past life experiences and explorations and then find out themselves. So these are techniques to find out, see, because sometimes what happens is people do not able to relate to why they are facing so much of problems in their present life. They are living this life, but they don't, no matter what they do, no matter how many doctors they go to, they do not know what is wrong with them. So either it can be solved with Reiki. Reiki also takes care of past life. Pranic healing also takes care of, or past life regression therapies. So these are the therapies which can take them. Right? Even science has failed sometimes to analyze why people are facing some problems. So you will see that there are people who say that their shoulders are paining absolutely no matter they have gone through different tests, they have done everything, MRI is also done, nothing is wrong with them. Still their shoulders pain almost all the time, regularly. And this can be cured from the past life regression therapies. Something you did in the past which is still you are carrying on your shoulders. So your shoulders basically spiritually talks about the emotional baggage that you carry. Any kind of emotional baggage. So the more emotional baggage from the past life you carry with you, there are chances that you will feel pain. Similarly, knee is for the ego. If you have regular knee pain and it is not going through even after you've taken medications and a lot of yoga and all that, still that knee pain is not going, that means your ego is from maybe your past life is just stuck somewhere. So you need to release it. The more you release the emotions, the easiest it is for your life to do. And past life regression also works on people who want to get that rectification done. Right? It doesn't work on 100% of people, because if you are so stuck, your ego is so stuck, you are so hardcore, what do you call it, rigid about certain things, it gets very difficult for past life regression therapy also to work on you. So you can release your emotions on your own anytime. So yoga and meditation is a long-term solution for everything. Okay, so this is another model. Then this is how it works. Initiation says that it is important to explain. Anybody else can read it, right? I don't want to. Neha, you want to read it?
Yes, ma'am. Initiation. In the initiation phase, it is important to explain the coaching process and to build trust. It is the start of a coach-client relationship. The aim is to create a space where it is all about the client, person, and what they want to accomplish.
Right. So initiation is basically when you are initiating your session. Right? Your relationship with your client, understand what is going on, the
Trust.
things that you want to accomplish.
Build trust.
Right. Then other second step, discovery. Yeah. So go on. Please read discovery.
The situation needs to be analyzed by the client from different perspectives. The coach supports this analysis by asking powerful questions and by listening carefully. It is important to discuss the values and beliefs of the client in order to explore a set of options that are in alignment with those values and beliefs.
Yeah. So what do you understand by this?
To analyze their problems, some powerful questions to be asked to the client and listen that carefully, then analyze what is the reason behind that.
Right. So it is more about, discovering what your belief systems and values being instilled into you. Sometimes, our belief systems are put in a wrong manner. For example, this religious thoughts that people put in us creates a lot of problem for many people, right? For example, I tell you, there was a woman who came to us and she said that I have been asked not to touch any kind of kitchen utensils during my menstruation period. Now imagine what is the logic behind that. You want person to cook, but you don't want that person to use any of the kitchen utensils during that 5 days. How is it possible? So sometimes people get into that kind of a unnecessary belief systems, superstitions, stereotypes that they do not know what to do next. So you have to bring them come out of those things really, really. So 90% of the belief systems that we believe right now are false, because it has been taught by somebody who's not a technician, who does not really understand them really well. Purely from patriarchal point of view, they started teaching us all these things. Right? In any of the things you will see. For example, I'm talking about menstruation a little bit more technical here, but even if you're talking about the smallest thing that people say, you can only become rich once you have done something morally not correct, right? I mean, to increase money, you need to do something which is not being done. What is morally correct and incorrect, and who find out those things? Right? Who created whether things are morally correct or immorally correct? It is us humans. Any of the God has not given us any instruction of that matter in any religion, right? So it's the human. It's because of our own convenience, just so that we can rule on the people. We created committees, we created religions, so that we can really control people's mind in a way. Once you come out of that, that is the reason why spirituality is taking much more better, is giving much more better experiences to people. It brings much more clarity in your life. It actually connects you to the almighty, whosoever is that person, or the supernatural power in the world. It connects with them directly. Religion on the other side tells you to perform some rituals which may or may not have logical things. If, for example, now imagine though I know I am touching a very sensitive area, but imagine the ashes of your body once you die, right? The cremation happens, the ashes of your body, what we do, we go and put it in Ganga. Right now, you're actually spoiling the authenticity of river water. Right? That river water is also used to drink. Some people use it for drinking purposes. You carry those water bottles at home, you perform puja. Now imagine you're performing puja with the water which has ashes of somebody who has died. And not just one person, I don't know how many people. So is the water pure enough? No. Logically, it is not. Still, our brain becomes so illogical while performing these rituals that we stop thinking about all these things. Spiritually, what the God tells you is that you become more kind, that you become more compassionate towards each other, that you practice your life in a more meaningful way for yourself and the people associated with you. That's how you can relate more to the Almighty or to the God. While religious thoughts tells you to perform so many different religious, rituals and things which has no logic behind them, and we keep doing that, and then we talk about we are not getting moksha, not getting clarity. We don't know whether we will meet God. So it's better to always become much more spiritual than become religious. In religion also there are different kind of things that you can perform. So chanting mantra, doing all these things that you do, the morning rituals of agarbatti and dhoop and all that, it brings clarity, it brings relief, it brings joy. But other than that, there are so many other things which has no logic, and I don't know why people still keep performing those things. So just use your creative mind, use your logical mind more before performing these activities, and similar things you can tell to your client. Because ultimately, see, what is the purpose of your life at the end? You know that this life is mortal, right? You have to die one day. All of us, we have to leave our physical body. All of us. So, what is the purpose of our life? Let me understand from you before you tell it to other people.
Satchidananda.
Right? So you bring consciousness to you. You are living your life with joy. What is the purpose of life for you, Akriti? So that's Satchidananda is for Neha.
Ma'am, living peacefully and create some impact on other people also.
Create what?
Good impact or positive impact on others also.
Good. Okay. Right. Arjunji, what is your purpose of life?
Transforming happiness in all others,
Okay.
in self and others.
Very good. Bringing happiness in self and others. Rati?
Ma'am, take care of family very well, communicating people with good relationship, and gain more happiness in the peaceful life.
Happiness and peaceful. Okay.
Peaceful life, yeah.
Santoshji, what is yours?
Ma'am, to live peacefully and happily.
Okay. So for
And the
everyone.
same can help to allow others to live also happily and peacefully.
Right. So every one of you is talking about peace. Right? That's one common thing that you all talked about, and obviously happiness. So how do you think you can bring peace in your life? What is it that brings peace to you?
Doing meditations and yoga.
Meditation brings peace. Immediate.
Taking things positively,
Okay.
giving
Think
gratitude.
positive.
Okay. Things positive. What else? Would you consider living life in a more positive manner, in a more peaceful manner all through? No matter what struggle, what problem, what challenge you are going through, still you are in that peace of, in that control of your mind that you are still peaceful.
Yes.
right? That's the ultimate goal, right? So how do you really come to that? The only thing is that become aware of everything that is happening.
Aware. Yes.
Yes. So acceptance and awareness are two things which are always interrelated. Acceptance says that this challenge is there and I accept that this is a challenge, that this is an issue, this is a problem. Awareness says that I need to know more about why this is happening with me. So understanding patterns, why it is happening. So people come with a problem that is happening with them again and again and again, an entire lifetime. So suppose you have lived 35, 40 years of your life, one thing continuously, if you go back and see, is happening again and again. It happens, then you give solution, it stops. Then again it comes, it happens. That means this pattern is telling you something that you need to do out of the way. The solutions that you have already introduced has not worked on it. That is why it is repeating. For a very basic example, I tell you, people say that we earn good amount of money, but still I always feel stuck with the money. I'm always in that situation where money stops coming. Oh, not stops coming. The flow is not happening on a regular basis. Every month, 20th, 25th, I'm hand to mouth. Same situation. So why this pattern is happening? That means there is something, some stuck energy in your body. How do you release that energy from your body? Is chanting, is mantra, is meditation about those things only. But positive. Don't say money is a problem. Never talk about that. Money is blessing. It's a bliss. Wealth is a bliss. So talk to money in a positive manner, bliss manner. That my cash flow is happening. My bank account is always full of money, more than I need. So never say, even if somebody asks you for money, never say, I don't have money. The moment you have said it once, twice, thrice, I don't have money, you have actually sent this mantra out. You have sent that energy out in the universe. So that means you will never have money, enough money. Right? So always talk about things in a positive manner. Uh, no, not is the word that should not be used. Even if you are saying, you're praying to God and say, koi problem nahi hai, which you know there should not be any problem. Should not be any problem. Matlab, the energy that has gone out is problem only. Should not does not exist in universal language. Your body is basically sending out the signals. The universe does not listen to the words, they listen to the energy that you're feeling. So if you're always feeling burdened with your energy about some problems, the burden is going out. The more happy, the more bliss, the more blessed you feel about something, that energy you're sending out. Right? So feel happy about you have children. So that's Satchit Ananda that Neha said, it's basically about that. Sat is basically becoming conscious, awareness, acceptance. Sorry, Sat is about acceptance, knowing what is the true things that is happening. Chit
Ma'am.
is basically consciousness, awareness that you're becoming aware about it. Ananda is going into the bliss. Everything is a
How to
bliss.
improve our awareness, ma'am? How to improve our awareness?
Related with positive words. See, when we say that my child is a problematic child, he brings difficulty for me. That means you're actually telling your child to bring more difficulty for you. Tell your child, think about it in a manner. There are so many families who are not blessed with a child. They keep trying all through their lives, still they are not blessed. Right? So think from that perspective that having a child is a blessing. That child showing your tantrums as a child is a blessing. So think from that perspective. Now give them solutions from that perspective. If the child is creating problems, they are troubled by something, that means you need to perform your activity as a parent much more better. Major mistake we do with our children is basically we start treating them as mini adults. We think they are adults, but they are just minor. It's not really the case. They are children and we need to treat them as children simply. Their logical mind does not really work like us. So their left brain, creative brain is more active where they can actually learn things through creativity. More. So spend time with them, bring happiness to them. The better the home with happiness, the better the child's growth and nurturing will be. So your job, once you have understood meditation and yoga and emotional care, is basically to bring happiness in your family. So first purpose of life is to be happy yourself and then bring that happiness in the life of the people that you serve. And that can come with acceptance awareness. Simple first. Once you have acceptance and awareness, you understand the problems, Now go through the logical route, find out why this problem is occurring more and more, find the solution. Every solution is there in meditation. Every solution. 108 methods, techniques you can perform, you can do that every now and then. Meditation works wonderfully for everything. You just need to perform it, practice it. Because it brings clarity of your thought, it brings immediate relief, it brings peace. So that peace, that ananda that you're looking at can come only from it. Again, it starts from Mooldhara. Mooldhara is basically associated with your troubles of money, your living life. So start with Mooldhara, then slowly come to this point. Once this point is opened up, that means your internal lotus is opened up. And once that is opened up, there is nothing stopping you. Even like while we are discussing this thing, you are talking about the sessions, once you talk to your clients, you will feel that happiness only automatically.
Mom, I didn't understand. What is that? Mooladhara chakra.
See, first is, you have to perform action in a manner where it is coming from Mooladhara. See, because Mooladhara chakra, the red chakra, is basically associated with the day-to-day problems of our life. Right? Money problems, day-to-day life problems, all these things. So if your Mooladhara chakra is not balanced, you cannot perform any other activity on your any other chakra. Right? Imagine you are saying that I want to love people, my Hara chakra, my heart chakra should work really well. But you know you are troubled, you do not have money or have problems in your home, something is not going wrong with your family, basic things. So how can you actually perform love? You cannot perform love. And you cannot give love to people till the time your Mooladhara is not balanced. So first is to balance, start from red chakra, so that Vidgyor has to be performed from the red. Yeah. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and then white. Right? So it has to be performed this manner. The logical way of working is this. So start from there, then go to your orange chakra, then your yellow chakra. This is how you start balancing your chakras. Always.
Daily we should do the chakra.
Yeah, absolutely. Daily chakra balancing is very good.
Yes.
Every day. Trust me, within 3 months, you will see that you are at peace everywhere. Even when you are sitting with your child is troubling, you will still feel happy about it.
Yes.
That has to be performed. See, chakras basically balances not just these things. They provide energies to all other 108 sections of our body, which is called nadis.
Nadis,
so, yeah.
72,000 of nadis, right?
Correct. Yeah. So 108 points they provide energies to, and then yes to the nadis. So imagine your body is functioning in a wonderful manner if you perform. So every morning, half an hour is a time, minimum half an hour to give to yourself.
Half an hour?
Half an hour to yourself, completely on your own.
For yoga?
Yoga and meditation. Just do that.
Ma'am, please teach one techniques, ma'am. Meditation technique today. Please teach us.
It would be difficult. Next Saturday? Or maybe during the week. Yeah, we need to find out also that, yeah.
Whenever you have time, you will ask
Saturday class, when do you want to do? The one class that we missed yesterday. When do you want to do that class?
Okay.
Can we do during the week sometimes?
Yes.
What time is common time for all of you? And for me. I travel from Wednesday to Friday, is very heavy travel. Would you like to do it on Tuesday?
Okay, ma'am. I don't know what about others.
Tuesday, everyone?
Timing, ma'am. Time.
Yes.
Time you tell me, evenings only. Yeah.
Okay, evening will be fine, ma'am.
Tuesday evening, right, ma'am?
Yeah, after work hours, what is the work hour? When do you come home?
5 to 7, ma'am.
5 to 7 or 5:30 to 7:30, something like that you can do.
Yes, 5:30 to 7:30.
5:30 to 7:30 will be fine.
Sure then. So Tuesday 5:30 to 7:30, we will do the session which is left on Saturday, and then we'll do meditation technique also.
Okay, ma'am. Sure. Thank you.
Right? The meditation technique. I think it's done. Yeah, only this method is left. So 2 more methods are left. Do it on Tuesday. One is reap and one is whole self. Yeah, any questions in this models that you've not understood or you want to give it time? See, what you should do basically ideally is to, once you attend these classes, try and go through YouTube again and listen to the class again. So that if you have questions, come back with the questions or research. So research about clear model, research about stepper model. These models are going to be very helpful for you for your coaching sessions, right? In aligning them really well. Right, so coaching is more about understanding the problem and giving solutions. But understanding problem using a scientific model gives a little bit guarantee that it is going to work really accurate, with accuracy. Right? So we follow a method. The more you follow a method, there are chances that whatever solutions you are going to give is very methodological. And do your research really well. That's the only thing. Right. So if you can perform this assignment, because it's Sunday today, whatever models we have studied so far, just same thing we did with the presentation on, I don't know why all of you have not given presentation yet, right? Neha, Arjun, Rati, Santoshji, all of you are left with your presentation.
Ma'am, I didn't know.
Rati did. Okay. Yeah, you did. So you need to see presentations will give you confidence in how it will give confidence to me also that how ready you are handling your clients. So these presentations are for that purposes, and please take that very, very seriously, because life coaching is all about what you're dealing with people, how you are presenting yourself, what are you talking, what is the kind of logical things that you're speaking. It's very important to understand from that perspective, right? So now your assignment is to create a presentation using any of these 4 models that we have talked about. You can leave the rest 2 models that we have not spoken about yet. I'm sharing this PPT right away in the group. Go through it, research. Again, find out a problem yourself, any problem. It can be depression, it can be mental health problem, it can be any other problem. Then which model are you going to use, which style you are going to use, and how are you going to find out the solutions for that problem using these things. Coaching style and coaching model. Both coaching style and model has been spoken about. Coaching style we did last week. So if you've not attended the class, go through the YouTube channel, or you can see this presentation has all those styles we've spoken about. And which model you are going to choose, and what is the remedies that you are going to give. Remedies in the sense of emotional care coaching, or if you are using yoga and meditation.
Ma'am, is there a PPT for coaching style which I?
Yes, it is there in this one, in the same presentation that I'm using right now. I'm sharing both with you.
Okay.
Right now it's okay. All right, and please be present and give presentation. Don't shy away from giving presentation. Trust me, it is really, really helpful for all of you for the long term. The more you practice giving presentations, it will bring more confidence in you in dealing with your people, in your clients. It will bring that clarity. And yes, Tuesday we are again going to use, I'll give you a case study. That is going to be a mock case study. I will be your patient. You have to give me the solutions as a life coach. So we will do that mock role play.
Okay.
So Tuesday is going to be all about presentations and role play, exercises and meditation. We'll just do that.
Ma'am, another one thing, last week I said no, man, my presentation was pending. So shall I do it on coming Saturday?
Let's do Saturdays.
Because Saturday was I was in hospital for my son.
Yeah, I know. You told me that. No problem. Yes, if you have created that, please do that. Yeah. Yes, Ratan.
Ma'am, what is about second one? Please explain one more time. The second PPT. What is that?
The second
Model,
PPT, yes, styles and models.
Styles and models.
Yeah,
Any
styles
style and
we
model,
study.
right?
Right. Any style you can pick up, any model you can pick up. You want to choose two styles and two models and combine them together for you, you can do that also.
Okay, okay. Mm.
Right? But it should look logical. Simple.
Okay.
I mean, it should look logical to people so that your solutions should look logical to people. Simple.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Okay. Then see you on Tuesday. I'm just sharing the PPT in the group.
Okay, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am.
Have a
Thank you,
great
ma'am.
Sunday. Yeah. See you on Tuesday,
Thank you, ma'am.
5:30. Bye bye.
Mm.